Welcome to another exciting episode of our economics lessons. Today, we're diving into an important concept that will help you understand not just economics, but also real-world financial decisions. We're exploring the difference between productive assets and consumer goods. Grab a notebook and get ready to learn in a way that's both fun and insightful. Let's start by breaking down what we mean by productive assets and consumer goods. Productive assets are resources that can create value. Think of them as tools or investments that help generate income or provide utility over time. Examples of productive assets include real estate, machinery, stocks, and even education. These are things that contribute to wealth creation. On the other hand, consumer goods are items that are primarily meant for direct consumption. They are used up or depleted when we purchase and use them. Everyday items like food, clothing, and electronics fall into this category. To understand the impact of these two categories on our economy, let's take a closer look at productive assets. Imagine you own a piece of property that you rent out. This property is a productive asset because it generates monthly income for you. That income can then be reinvested into more productive assets or saved, creating a cycle of wealth building. The same goes for machinery used in a factory. It's used to produce goods, leading to profit and potentially creating jobs. Now, let's contrast this with consumer goods. When you buy a pair of shoes, you enjoy them for a while, but once they're worn out, they no longer hold any value. Consumer goods don't generate ongoing revenue or return on investment like productive assets do. While we all need consumer goods for our daily lives, they do not contribute to our financial growth in the same way that productive assets do. A fascinating aspect of productive assets is their potential to appreciate in value. For instance, a well-chosen stock may increase in value over the years, leading to significant financial gains. In fact, many investors focus on building a portfolio of productive assets because, over the long term, they have historically provided better returns than consumer goods can offer. Moreover, the distinction between these two categories is vital for personal finance decisions. Knowing the difference helps individuals make informed choices about how to allocate their money. For example, if you're tempted to spend all your savings on the latest gadget, remember that while that gadget might be exciting, it won't help you build wealth like investing in stocks or property could. Let's talk about some historical context. We can trace the evolution of the understanding of productive assets and consumer goods back to ancient economies. In agricultural societies, land was considered a productive asset because it could grow crops and sustain families. The more productive land one owned, the wealthier they could become. On the flip side, goods like clothing and tools were consumer goods essential for survival and daily activities. As economies evolved from agricultural to industrial, these definitions became even more pronounced. The Industrial Revolution brought about a shift where machinery and factories became the cornerstone of productive assets, while the consumer goods industry grew rapidly to support the rising population's needs. Today, we live in a knowledge-based economy, and education is one of the most valuable productive assets. Investing in your education can significantly expand your earning potential, leading to better job opportunities and financial stability. It's a cycle of investing in yourself to become a productive asset that contributes positively to the economy. Now, let's consider some interesting facts related to our topic. Did you know that in economic terms, the concept of human capital refers to the skills and knowledge that enable individuals to be productive? Just like machinery and tools, your skills can generate income, making education one of the highest forms of productive assets. To highlight the importance of understanding these concepts, let's discuss wealth-building strategies. Many successful investors and entrepreneurs focus on accumulating productive assets while minimizing purchases of consumer goods. This strategy is often referred to as living below your means. It allows for greater savings and investments, ultimately leading to enhanced financial security and independence. Furthermore, consumer goods can also impact economic cycles. When people spend more on consumer items, it can stimulate economic growth. However, over-reliance on consumer spending can lead to financial trouble if it overshadows the value of investments in productive assets. This cycle between consumer behavior and economic growth shows just how interlinked our choices are in shaping the economy. As we wrap up our lesson, it's essential to reflect on how productive assets and consumer goods play roles in our life. By recognizing what comprises these two categories, you can make conscious decisions about how you spend and invest. Remember, productive assets can lay the foundation for building wealth, while consumer goods fulfill immediate needs but shouldn't dominate your financial strategy. To continue expanding your understanding of these concepts, consider checking out trusted educational resources. Investopedia has excellent definitions and explanations regarding asset categories. You can also explore EconLib for a deeper dive into economic principles, particularly regarding capital and wealth creation. These resources can be very helpful as you navigate your journey in economics and personal finance. Today, we explored the key differences between productive assets and consumer goods. We defined productive assets as valuable resources that generate income, while consumer goods are primarily consumed and do not provide ongoing value. Understanding these concepts is crucial for making informed financial decisions and building wealth. Remember, investing in productive assets like education, property, or stocks can secure your financial future better than purchasing consumer goods, which only provide short-term enjoyment. Knowledge is power, and by leveraging it, you're taking important steps toward financial literacy and independence. Thank you for joining us for this engaging lesson on productive assets versus consumer goods. We hope you found this information valuable and that it inspires you to think differently about your spending and investing habits. Keep exploring the world of economics with us, and until next time, remember that knowledge leads to better financial choices. Stay curious and keep learning.